700, 700, 700.
Welcome to the 700th episode of the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. And my, has this thing grown. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to the Huddle. Congratulations to the four of us. And great stuff. A great milestone.
It is when you. So it's interesting because we'll get into some of the meaning of 700, which I always do the homework, and the meaning of the number 700. If you believe in that kind of stuff, is really on par with why we do this and who the people are that are here. But when you look back at a body of work, we're not done. But when you look back and you say, "Wow, if you had told me."
We're done. That's it. See you later.
This is true of everything you do in your life. If you would have said, "Hey, we're going to do 700 shows," it would be like,
what? What?
Lucky way, man. I can't do 700, man. It's like, and then all of a sudden, like Shay, which I love, Shay, the statistician, says, "Gentlemen, by the way, Thursday is 700, man." So here we are, 700 live episodes. If you think about the content in 700 episodes, 20 to 25 minutes of rocking what we do, and the only reason why we get to do it is the people that are here. So
well, I got to give a shout out to Maria Pumagero and to Jamie Tribble, because both of their shares or comments on the post this morning was super incredible, because Jamie said she's been coming for a little over 2 years. Maria's been here since the start in 2020, and both of them were like, "It's changed my morning. It's changed my life based on the people that I've been introduced to and the routines I've created from it." So just thank you guys for being such awesome Huddle members and members of the tribe, and it's great stuff.
So leave it to Joanne. Bang.
Yeah, knew it right away.
It represents abundance, good luck. It represents a lot more that I'll get into after we do wake up music. But I do want to say that it has been a labor of love. It is so much fun that we get to do this. Mark, do you remember the origin? Do you remember when
I remember when we tested it for the first day on a Sunday, just to see what would happen when we went live on LinkedIn. And people like popped in and were like saying hello, like, "Hey, what up?" And it was like a Sunday morning at 9:00 that we did it. And it was like, all right, we'll do this. And kudos to Shay, number one, because the iteration of the show and with where we are now compared to the first episode, which had like a phone by the speaker for motivational music.
Can you imagine?
It was
we are. I mean, it is cool to think back to where we were as a society 3 years ago. We talk about 700 and us, but I mean, the world shut down 3 years ago. Like, that's a reality of the world. This came out of it. Everybody freaked out that we would never come out of that. So any uncertainty going forward, I think, is an overwhelming example of you don't know what will come out of, either down times, whatever you want to call it, or whatever, the uncertain times. I think this is a prime example of that,
Look at Kyle, man.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Believe it or not, been here for 650 plus episodes. And I don't know if you saw the news that Kyle and Florida State dropped yesterday, but they will be playing in Ireland against Georgia Tech, I think in 2024, I think is the year. So that might be a Huddle trip. I don't know.
Doing the Huddle. You know what? If we go there, we can see Sean Flood.
I know. We got to reach out to Sean and say, "Sean, there's a Florida State game in Ireland. It might be time to do it."
He's going to be hosting a whole bunch of Florida State people. So anyway, thank you. The reason why the show works is you guys. The reason why it works is the content, the flow, the start, the energy, all of that stuff. So let's wake this thing up and get to some content.
Maybe then now let's
So, Mark, would you do me a favor and reiterate that there is no cost to this, to showing
We do
up?
this essentially for free every day. While there's no cost, there is a fee. And shout out to a lot of people that have been paying the fee of liking, commenting, and sharing the Nudelberg Daily Huddle, inviting people to join them, commenting or creating a post inside of social media about it, or just simply while you're here saying good morning, interacting with the show through the likes and the comments. So if you are new, ensure that you pay your fee. And if you are not new, ensure that you pay your fee, because we are here to serve you guys.
I love that. And here's the most fascinating part to me. You see a guy like Kyle who's been here 650 times, and you wouldn't know it because he doesn't show up.
Not there, right? You don't see him comment good morning every day.
The vast majority of our audience, which now that we're on the Nudelberg page, the Nudelberg Daily Huddle, we can actually see the numbers. And I don't know about
450 people who watched it yesterday. Of those 450, there's only 32 that are here live on LinkedIn. There's another 20 or so that go to the YouTube channel, but the LinkedIn numbers that we get, 450 people watched it yesterday on LinkedIn, but not all of those people comment, liked, or shared. So whenever you're watching, please be sure to engage with the show and press a like and invite somebody that you might know to be a huddler with us.
Now, the way LinkedIn does their numbers, stacks their numbers, is they take that number of people who watched it and they actually times it by the average audience that every LinkedIn user has. And if you say the average audience is somewhere between 500 and 1,000, multiply that out and see the reach.
Yeah, 450 times 750. I have no idea what that number is.
So anyway, I promised I went deep on this thing. I know Joanne knew it. That's incredible. But here's some cool shit about 700. There is a 700 club in baseball, and of more than 20,000 players who have participated in the game, there are only 4, and I'll let Shay jump in and say the 4.
Well, yeah, the most recent one, which is Mr. Albert Pujols, storied Cardinal player, and went to LA and among other places.
Pick up the energy, dude. Come on.
I was about to say, yeah. This is like I'm reading a thing in the museum.
Bonds was probably the best purest hitter ever to play the game. Mr. Henry, Hank Aaron, and it was Antler. It was Antlers. And then you have obviously the great Bambino, Mr. Babe Ruth.
Shay, man, this was like an audition to get more airtime, and I don't know. I'm giving you, what is the show?
Shay's on brand. Shay is on brand. Shay is Shay. Shay makes it happen. Shay stays in the back room on the cutting floor and ensures that we are on par. He's not the energy guy. No,
so here's the deal. The number 700 and its meaning means the universe is happy.
I'm the glue.
That's right. He's a glue guy. He's a glue guy. That's right.
Interrupting me, man. So the universe is happy with the way you've been conducting your life. As a sign of approval, they send the number 700 your way. It's a sign that if you carry on with the same trend, you will achieve your goals within the time you desire. Here's another one. Good actions and positive thoughts have made people believe in themselves. Is that what the purpose of this thing is? I mean, it's an opportunity to embrace positivity. You will find yourself in the company of great people and who appreciate the fact that there is hope.
I like that for the description of the huddle. I think
bottom line is the number 700 represents good luck. It is a sign of the blessings you'll receive for being faithful to the divine plan. We are totally happy about it. So pretty cool stuff. You got baseball players, you got huddlers all doing this 700 thing. But guess what? We'll be back again tomorrow to do 701. So
701 tomorrow. And that's I said that here's to another 700, right? Like it's 2020. So it's been 3 years essentially. And we've hit 700 episodes. So we'll see in 3 years when we're at, 1,400 episodes. and the Huddle is thousands of people every day, and we continue to grow this thing piece by piece.
Piece by piece. Jake, when you first came on board, one of your first assignments was to go back and grab some of the content from the early shows.
I would tell you I didn't regret leaving football, but at that moment I was pretty sure that I was like, I could do anything other than this and be happy. But just in honest, true fashion, I'm just happy we don't play music through our phones anymore in a coffee shop where you can't hear anything. And he's dancing in a coffee shop. People are walking by.
Disaster. It's an absolute disaster. But those of you that have been here from the start, you've grown with us, baby. You've seen
But I will say, like, our voices have gotten better. And even the content that is still being talked about back then is still really impressive. Still forward thinking, still everything that being on the ball means. So we haven't changed too much.
I love it as well. So very appropriate motivational music, not played through a phone. Jay, take it away. So this is unbelievable because I was at that concert with Joanna.
You guys don't remember. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you barely
guys
remember
don't
that.
You do remember that. So part of what we do here, we talk about it all the time, is a labor of love. It doesn't really feel like work. I love writing it. I love grabbing the content that we use. It works for me. And Jake sent me this Seinfeld video, which captures, I think, the essence of life, the essence of happiness. Show me Jerry Seinfeld, and then I want to talk through this.
I'm never not working on material.
So
ever.
even when you're sitting with your wife, you're sitting with the kids, it's material.
Every second of my existence, I'm thinking, could I do something with that?
That to me sounds torturous. Like you cannot let go. So if I came over to your house and we were hanging out, you're kind of really looking for material.
Not kind of. I'm looking for material all the time.
That's being at work 24 hours a day. It's neurotic.
Making jokes is not work. It's a gift.
How the hell can sit and remember all of this material?
What else have I got to do?
That's your day? You memorize this material?
Howard, you do it over and over and over. You say to Tiger Woods, how do you remember which club to use? What the hell else has this guy got to do?
So when someone says to you, oh, you have it so easy, you're so naturally funny and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you are naturally funny, and you do have that ability to figure that stuff out, but they don't realize the amount of work that goes into it.
It's like going into the gym every day.
It's hard.
You know how you walk in every day and you go, oh, geez, I got to do this again.
Yeah, it sounds like a tortured life. And you say
it's not, but it is. But you know what? Your blessing in life is when you find the torture you're comfortable with.
I can't argue with that.
And that's marriage, it's kids, it's work, it's exercise, it's not eating the food you want to eat.
Right.
Find the torture you're comfortable with, and you'll do well.
Mic drop.
Mic
drop at the end of that statement.
So I want to take the rest of our time together today to unpack that. Jake, you found it. You initially sent it to me waiting for my reaction. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, my initial reaction goes to its purpose. It's having a real purpose in life, and that allowing that purpose to fulfill you. I think in today's society, either we try to hide away from complete commitment, or we try to say it's bad to be overly committed to something. And I think it's completely opposite. And until you find that something, it's hard for you to understand that thinking and might answer it as neurotic. But once you find that passion and you put your mentality into it, there's nothing more rewarding than giving yourself to a cause or a purpose. And that's where I first go with it.
Love it. Mr. Mark?
I love that he said it's both, that it's a gift and it's a torturous life. Like, from what I hear from people who talk about anything, is that they're one side of the spectrum or the other. Like, it's supposed to be roses and glory and love all the time, or it's fire and brimstone and grind. I feel like you're either like Mel Robbins, which is like, love yourself and do it all good, or you're David Goggins, which is like, it's hard, it sucks, don't be a bitch. And it's not either. It's both. It's not either or. It's really both. And I learned that in football, committed myself fully to that. 16 hours a day, 340 days a year, sacrifice friends' weddings, sacrifice vacations, sacrifice everything in my early 20s to be there and learn and earn and grind. And at some point, it either becomes you're still comfortable with that torture or you're not. And that's okay. And so as long as you're constantly looking for the torture that you're comfortable with and that you're willing to accept, that's kind of my point yesterday was commitment is commitment. You got to be devoted to it. You got to want to do it all the time. Doesn't mean you have to do it all the time, but you should at least want to, because there's no way to find greatness without that. That's why Jerry Seinfeld is great, because he's always thinking about it, even when he's enjoying time with his kids, even when he's at the dinner table, even when he's on the show with Howard Stern. It's always on.
So here's my take on it. First of all, one of the best videos I think we've played or we found, because here's a real artist, a guy that recognizes that he has a gift and is not bitching about the fact that the world is his palette. It's a blank slate, man. He can do whatever he wants with it. And, if you think back about the genius of the show that he was in, it was about nothing. It was just, and so nothing happens every day. Jake asked me, he said, and just yesterday, he said to me, he goes, so Dad, what do you really do for fun? And fun for me is reading all of the articles that come through every single day for me, because I get, and I write about this and I speak about it, I get one aha moment every day. Aha. I pull it out of the universe, I digest it, make it my own, and then share it with people. That's how I do what I do. That's how Jerry does. He takes the information, digests it, and then it comes out through his lens. I do the same. That resonated with me. That was like one of the things that intimidated me about getting into the coaching space when Jerry Latrento, who will be on April 14th as the Huddler in the hot seat, when he first approached me and said he wanted me to do it, I had that imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know. I don't really do that. I don't have a curriculum. And then he looked at me and he goes, "Hell's the matter with you?" He goes, "You're the best there is. What are you talking?"
Yeah.
Because you have curriculum, and all of a sudden I started realizing that the way I see things, the way I digest them is the gift. That's, and you had said this to me in developing your playbook. You said, I can give it to somebody else. They just don't see it and understand it the way I do, which is why the coaching thing works for us. So it's, it's when you break it down.
You find your gift, right? That's speaking exactly to what Jerry was saying, was his gift is the ability to look at the world and make a joke out of it. Not everybody has that gift. Not everybody is able to look at what's going on around them and have the gift of being able to create something funny out of it. You have the ability to take in a bunch of information and find the teachable moments in it. Find the lesson that can be distilled out of it all and then you have the gift of delivering it to somebody else. You're a naturally gifted teacher. I wrote about that in the book, that I didn't realize that when I got into football, I was actually still chasing the family profession, because the family profession was not being an entrepreneur, was not retail sales, was not a Confessions of a Serial Salesman. The family profession is coaching. We've had unbelievable abilities to affect people around us and help them get better. So whether that's in a business, inside of a business, inside of a football team, inside of a little league coaching, it doesn't matter. Like, I watched Jake while we were at the JA event take over this stock market exchange and help the kids figure out how to navigate the game. And he came up to me and he was like, hey, here's what the kids need to know in order to help them operate a little bit better. Make this announcement over the microphone. Like, that is our gift. And so I think for everybody who's listening or going through the show, I would hope that the 700th episode is about what's your gift. Figure out what your gift is. It's never too late to figure it out, and then go live your life living your gift and being comfortable with your torture every day.
And understanding that part of the reward for that is, like, both of us are watching Jake, and his content development, is completely off the chart. He is completely a different person because nobody forced it on him. He recognized, took his time, and said, okay, I can do this. I understand it. And this is how I'm going to go about it. And I think that's part of the problem with coaching and training, is it gets pushed down on people. It's not hey, let's sit together and do this, and give people the space and the patience to learn what they need to do in order to be great. And find
shout out to Joy Linsky for the quote from Alice in Wonderland, which, to summarize it, sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. That one little just nugget out of that is, it's a great lesson and a great takeaway, and it's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Joy.
So this brings to the close our 700th.
Our 700th episode happens on March Madness. I need to know who your Final Four is, who your championship picks is. If you have picks, if you filled out a bracket,
I was going to say, you got to have a March Madness
conversation. Address it a little bit. So Dad, who did you pick? I actually have no clue who you picked.
Who do you got winning?
I have Alabama winning it all.
Winning the whole thing?
Winning the whole thing.
I'm Zona. Zona's raising the trophy this year, baby.
Really? Wow.
I'm Matthew McConaughey, Longhorns. Should be fun. Starts at noon.
Today at noon.
So here's the thing. Statistically, production goes off the deep end.
Least amount of work will be done over the next 2 weeks.
Phil Boatman, Jayhawk, right? That makes sense.
And I know, Jonathan Aarons is in here, a big rock chalk Jayhawk guy. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of good basketball conversations.
For us, we don't have a team in the race. We're not Miami fans. So to the Miami fans, good luck. Hold down the state,
I do have Miami going to the Sweet 16.
Oh, God.
Here's the cool thing. Anything is possible. So when the tournament starts, this is a metaphor for your life. Anything's possible, man.
Anything is possible.
Got to play the games, man.
Who will be the Cinderella story? Will you be the Cinderella story?
You will not be here tomorrow, sir, for my friend.
I will not be here. I will be taking Kai to the airport. So Corey Disson will be in the Huddle hot seat tomorrow. Unbelievable entrepreneur, unbelievable story. Congratulations to his son, which I'm sure he'll be talking about tomorrow, who is playing in the Phillies program. So awesome stuff. I will miss you guys, but I will be watching and listening as Kai boards the plane. You guys have a fantastic Friday. Ensure to pay your fee of like, comment, and share. We will see you tomorrow. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down.